It's funny how you can walk down the street, past a house or building, and not know that there's a great gem of a recording studio inside. Tucked away in the Estar Park neighborhood of Los Angeles, next to a lone palm tree by a McDonald's, is a studio, appropriately called Lone Palm. And this is where I held the Los Angeles Dream Session. So what was my goal? Well, to get two artists who've never worked together to produce two songs in 2 days. Kind of like a musical quickfire challenge on a musical cooking show. When I contacted the artists, Jane Louie and Bart Davenport, I think I freaked them out. I know I freaked them out. But luckily they were gracious and brave to rise to the challenge of working at a breakneck speed to create something on the fly. Being a fan of both artists, I wanted to capture their processes under pressure. I think that's when a lot of interesting results can happen. But I won't spoil it. Let's see what happens. You have like a idea?
Yeah, so I have this song that's not, fully mapped out in my head it's definitely just structured enough. I've got, verse, chorus, bridge, but just what happens instrumentally is still really open, and maybe the structure of the parts, where the actual bridge happens or something, is still, undecided as well.
Okay, cool.
Does that seem like it moves too fast?
Yeah, I think you want to maybe hang on that G chord a little bit. Maybe,
What if you switch those two parts around? You ended on the lyric.
Yeah, like that. We should end on the vocal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so this would be kind of like a little bridge.
Yeah.
Between that? Yeah.
Maybe.
It's like this kind of guitar rhythm that
I've known about Bart Davenport for a long time. I've been a fan of his for a while, and I had seen him play a show in San Francisco and just was completely mesmerized by his performance. Now, when I contacted him for this project, I caught him in a transition in his musical aesthetic, something that seems to happen quite often if you look at his sprawling discography. I had known him to be primarily an acoustic singer-songwriter, but his new material suggested that he was moving in more of an 80s new wave and power pop direction.
so that it's like something that's kind of different for me is that there's all this movement and everything is just staying with the root note of A. So it's sort of applying, I'm sort of implying that there's this 5 chord. But you can hear there's just this droning A string, and I usually don't do that. I'm usually, I would normally just play, full chords, so it's different for me to have this more vagueness.
Now, due to the small size of the studio and limited time frame of a day to record, we decided to go with kind of like a bossa nova instrumentation. Guitar, percussion, piano, bass. Bart brought in a song that he just finished, but it needed to be fleshed out. The song had to be structured. Get the arrangement, an intro, bridge, ending, as well as the style, the feel, and instrumentation.
I think we need something under it, like a kind of thing under maybe the bass guitar, or both bass guitar and some sort of drum that goes.
Right. Yeah.
So somehow it's like folky, strummy, Tim Hardin-esque thing, but there's sort of a Latin feeling to the way,
How do you start a song from nothing? Where do you start? You got a canvas of silence and a palette of sounds in your head. Really, the only limitation is the vividness of your sonic imagination. I mean, there are countless methods and techniques to capture a song, but it seems like there's a couple universal steps you can take to get you started. A master recipe. Step one is the prep work, getting the song into a very tangible form of some sort. Step two is arranging, rearranging, setting the chords, the tempo, the style, the instrumentation, the mood. And then finally, you record it. If you think about it, a recording is really an audio photograph, a musical snapshot of a moment in time. Now, if you're lucky, it'll capture you in a moment that's you at your best.
I had a lot of training as a child because I was in a vocal. I was singing in a chorus at school, and I took guitar lessons. But then, from the time I was a teenager until the present, I've just been a self-taught musician, and I've mostly just learned a lot of things from playing with other people and asking them questions or them showing me things, or just sitting at home for hours and hours trying to figure out how to do something, or listening to records and imitating them, or just by trial and error, really getting, hopefully improving, evolving, changing.
The winter sun won't shine for everyone, and I'm here by mistake. Here by mistake.
I seem to be playing a lot better with you when I don't sing. It's definitely going to be a cool thing to track it without vocals.
For me, I started playing late in life. I made a decision in my late 20s to switch instruments. I played the trumpet prior to that for like 12 years or so, and just decided to play drums and percussion because that's what I had always wanted to do. So I just decided to switch and went to school for that. Got a master's degree in Afro-Latin percussion, and just started playing with folks around town.
Luckily, we had Andreas Renteria on this session. He was really the musical glue that held everything together. Now, Andreas came up in conversation when I spoke with Bart on the phone because he was suggested for the session, and it's funny because I was thinking about him in the back of my mind because I knew that he played with Bart in his band, and Andreas is another guy I've known about for a long time because we have a mutual friend in Natalie Rowland who does my album covers. I'd known about him as well because he played percussion with a great singer-songwriter named Mia Doi Todd, which is how Bart and Andreas met, actually, because Bart toured with her. So, small world. And the final coincidence is that Bart, Andreas, and Dan, the owner of the studio and engineer, all knew each other because they all run in the same circles. So, this is kind of like a hub of a cool Los Angeles independent recording and music scene.
Does that seem like it moves too fast?
Yeah, I think you want to maybe hang on that G chord a little bit. Maybe, but that's what it feels like to me.
If you switch those two parts around, you ended on the lyric.
We should end on the vocal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so this would be kind of like a little bridge in between that? Yeah. Let me get straight on that intro again.
So I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. I guess the only thing is, yeah, like an ending. I don't know if you want like a ta-da kind of ending. Like that phrase is like the da, 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 da. That's like such a strong, the melody.
Right, we could do something with that, like,
Or something. Yeah,
you know.
you know, that's like the classic kind of ending. Or if
Right.
you want something more of like a,
What could be cool to have an alternate thing?
mm-hmm,
You know, I mean,
like a harmony to that or a counterpoint to that.
I don't know, you know, go somewhere else for the end.
Or, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Kabasa,
Mm-hmm.
piano, bass guitar, and then violin.
Oh, sorry, no violin. Violin guy is not
Okay.
gonna be able to make it.
What's
But
this other instrument?
she's a pianist and she has a beautiful voice.
Okay, so piano,
Yeah.
and then electric guitar played by you.
Sure, yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
It is a lot of stuff, but you know, kind of.
Well, maybe if we
Bring
do
it
some
in.
of it live,
Mm-hmm.
that'll help us get it done faster. We should do these 2 guitars live
Mm-hmm.
with him
Sure.
on the conga,
Sure.
and then overdub all that other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
because it's a nice vibe to get it all kind of.
I could
Baked
even
in.
see doing the vocal live
Yeah.
with the way we've been jamming it. So we
Totally.
could just do this
Mm-hmm.
and then overdub all the other things we talked about.
Totally.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So Dan,
Yeah.
we're thinking we track these 3 instruments
Yeah.
and the vocal
Okay.
live,
Yeah, yeah.
and then we overdub piano, bass guitar, kabasa,
Uh-huh.
and electric guitar.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Let's get mic'd up and you can we'll do
Yeah.
hands or
Yeah,
I mean, we don't
headphones.
really
Do you want
need
headphones?
headphones.
Or we don't necessarily need them.
Not really.
no. We could basically do this. Maybe you guys move